From Wave, your Kentucky Derby official station, this is Sunrise at the Downs. Sponsored by River City Bank.
Good morning. I'm holding in a sneeze on it. Sarah, give me the time. I'm so confused. It is upstate. Yes, you were making the funniest face, and I thought maybe you had something to tell me, a top secret something.
Who makes a normal sneeze face? We have these lilies up here, the horses. My allergies are going crazy. So, yes, I was holding in a sneeze.
You were looking at me like this. But also, she sneezes like this. And I don't know if you're like saying.
Yeah, no, that is a sneeze coming up. So hey, maybe you'll hear that this morning because, like I said, we have the beautiful lilies. It is Oak Day out here.
That was funny. All right, we do have a scratch in the Derby. We're going to get that in just a moment. But right now, let's go to the forecast with Tawana.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on the forecast for today, and for anybody who has allergies, the heads up, pollen counts are still high, so maybe your sneeze is not as adorable as Olivia's, but it's still something that you need to be certainly prepared for as you are heading out. So for right now, we are dealing with a couple of clouds overhead, and that is it, keeping a close eye on the radar, that's for sure, but it is quiet for now. The green that you see on your screen is it just picking up on some of the moisture in the air. But in terms of what we're dealing with fog, some of you are dealing with some of those lower visibilities, and we're seeing that a little bit more into the Lawrence County, even parts of Orange County, into Washington County in Indiana, getting mainly some of that patchy fog, trying to become a little bit more dense in some spots, and we'll keep an eye on that trend as we get a little bit closer to sunrise, which is at 6:45 today, by the way. Your temperatures are in those 50s and low 60s in those spots, and as we continue throughout the rest of the day, we are going to see temperatures trying to climb into the upper 70s and low 80s for your highs. We'll watch for that better potential for some strong to severe storms between that 3 to 8 p.m. time frame again, especially for those of you south of the parkways. I'll break down exactly what threats we're going to be looking at on the other side of the break.
All right, thank you, Tawana. But, of course, we've got to talk about that big shakeup in the Derby race because Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert's horse, Rodriguez, scratched yesterday.
Yeah, he still does have Citizen Bull coming out of the one hole. So not a great position, but Rodriguez, unfortunately, is out. The Bob Baffert trained colt was set to run with fairly good odds. We had a chance to talk to Tom Ryan, one of the horse's owners, and he said that Rodriguez has a sensitive foot bruise, so they're scratching him out of an abundance of caution. But now, all eyes on the Preakness. And so with Rodriguez out, Baeza is now in. Let's talk about Baeza, trained by John Sheriff, the veteran trainer, has an impressive history, including striking gold with Giacomo, who pulled off that 50-1 upset in the 2005 Derby. The California-based 3-year-old colt has a great bloodline that includes connections to Derby winners from 2008 Big Brown and 2023's Mage. And we had a chance to talk to John. This is what he said.
Baeza's shown enough talent to run in the Derby and run well in the Derby, and he's got that pedigree that just screams to run in the Derby, right? So feel really good about that, and then so we think we know he belongs here.
Santa Anita Derby. Let's take a look at the current Derby odds right now. All of the horses moved down a position, but they still will have the same number. So Baeza coming in at 21 now. Those are the current odds. Journalism still the overwhelming favorite. As you can see, those current odds are 3-1. So if you put your money on Journalism, you're not going to make a lot, but that is the clear favorite.
Yep, and today, though, it's all about the fillies. Right now, the jockeys, trainers, racing fans all getting ready for the big Oaks race, but another shakeup in that race for the Oaks. Yesterday, we learned that 5G scratched from the race in that 13, so it's now a 13-horse field, but 5G finished first or second in her last 5 starts, so a really impressive resume there, but no more eligible horses could have entered the race. That means it is now a 13-horse field, so keep an eye out for that.
And Good Cheer, the overwhelming favorite for the Oaks race right now. This filly is trained by Louisville native Brad Cox, who has won some Oaks and also has a Derby win under his belt as well. He grew up just a couple of blocks away. We actually had a chance to talk to his son yesterday on the backside here. So she has 6 starts, and 6 wins, including a 3-time winner here at Churchill. Let's take a look at the entire list. That Oaks race will run at 5:51 this afternoon. It's a full day of racing. The first race is at 11 o'clock this morning. A 13 race card today, and these are all of the horses. Do you have a favorite that you're looking at right now?
I think it changes every single day. I told one of our producers that I had a pick, and yeah, it just keeps changing, so I don't even know what I told her at this point. Do you have a favorite?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with Tenma. So that's one of Bob Baffert's horses, so we're going to stick to that.
There you go. Stick with it better than what I'm doing.
Yes. Let's ask Miss America what she thinks about that. So good to see you this morning. Oh, my gosh. You are stunning.
Yes, and you don't even have to wear the big hat because you have the crown to go with it.
Well, don't you worry. The hat's coming later today.
Oh,
but I do
really?
get to wear both. Yeah.
I would keep the crown on.
We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
The crown should be incorporated into a hat.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. So
maybe next year.
Okay, this is Abby Stockard, and I was looking over your resume. You are so impressive. You've accomplished so much, and you've done so much, too, for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. What was it that inspired you to get involved with that?
Yeah, so my best friend has cystic fibrosis. We've been best friends since the age of 9. Growing up, I saw firsthand some of the devastating effects that this disease took on Maddie's mental and physical health, and I made a promise to her as a little kid that I would do everything in my power to fight for her and to fight for others that are living with this disease. So this year I don't only get to be Miss America, I get to serve as a national ambassador for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, hopefully encouraging increased awareness, increase in fundraising participation, and getting closer and closer to one day finding a cure.
That's got to be awesome to go to events like the Derby and being able to share that platform in so many different ways. What's that like, just traveling the country and coming to events like this to do that?
Yeah, so this month actually kicks off Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, May. So throughout the entire month of May, I will be wearing this purple sash to represent all of those living with cystic fibrosis, share their stories, raise awareness, and hopefully use that as an opportunity to get others involved in the fight.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And you also started High Five for Kids. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is an initiative that I created to educate students on the importance of pursuing a healthy lifestyle at a young age and creating those habits that will serve a lifetime. Yesterday, I got to speak to elementary school kids with Global Game Changers about High Five for Kids, showing them the importance of getting physical activity, hydration, eating healthy, getting good sleep, and the whole mission of GGC is helping kids find their superpower, whether it's health or education or speaking, writing, all the things. They too can create these habits and use it to live a strong and healthy life and learn how to make a difference.
So you're getting the full Derby experience. I hear that you got to sew a lily into the garland of lilies.
Yes, it was so cool. Such a special and a surreal moment. I was actually the first Miss America to ever take part in that Kentucky Derby tradition.
Oh, cool.
So it was an absolute blast. Also, Passion Roses is a Miss America sponsor, so it's kind of a full circle moment. And for me, it felt like I got to honor women and their beauty and strength in a symbolic way.
Oh, I love that. Now, where are you from?
I'm from Alabama. Do you hear the southern accent at all?
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it a bit, too. I mean, it's got to feel like kind of home being in the South in Kentucky.
Yes, I actually went to Keeneland last year, so that's how I got invested in the horse racing.
So you know a thing or two. Do you have an Oaks pick?
Yes. So I like to pick the horses who I feel like I can relate to.
Okay.
In some ways, so mine would be Ballerina Dioro.
Oh.
I've been a dancer my entire life. Ballet is the foundation of dance, so I got to go with that one.
Good choice.
That is the same as our morning reporter, Marissa Burke.
I
made the same call. Well, Abby, thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck. I have no doubt great things are in your future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's check in with Josh Ninke. He's running around. Where are you at now, Josh?
Hey, I'm right near the Outrider barn. This is one of the main entrances that the horses can take coming in and out of the track as they're getting their workouts in this morning. We've seen a lot of horses coming through here over the last about 15, 20 minutes or so. Some of them a little antsy. You can tell there's some energy going on here this morning, but obviously all these trainers and whatnot are very, very professional and know exactly what they're doing to keep these horses in line. Here's a nice close-up look at some of these guys right here. The thing that I was telling my photographer, Corey, is I forget just how big these animals animals are until you're standing right next to them with a rider on top. They are just absolutely massive. It's truly impressive to see all these folks coming through right here. And I mentioned we're here next to the Outrider barn. You guys were talking earlier about the importance of these outriders, the folks that are out essentially keeping all these horses in line as they're out and about. I was talking to some of the staff here earlier this week. There was a point where 2 horses kind of got loose out on the track during some of the workouts, and one outrider managed to catch both of them, one with his left hand and the other with his right hand. Everybody was really impressed because that is quite the feat. Catching one horse is hard enough. But you can see lots coming in through here this morning as the workouts continue throughout the day. And there's also going to be a special breakfast happening right here next to the track. So it's a lot happening out here as we're getting things going on this early Oaks morning. Live here, Josh Stinky, Wave News. Tawana?
We're seeing right now out here, right along the rail, we have plenty of these horses doing their morning workouts. Things are looking absolutely great right now, and as we're starting off the day, things are going to look great. But as we head into the afternoon, this is when we see that potential for more of those showers and thunderstorms coming into and through our area. As of right now, those of you south of the parkways do have a much better chance for rain and severe weather than everyone else. Now, as we head into your Derby day, yes, we do see some more of those rounds of rain in the forecast, and really front-loaded, mainly the morning and towards middays when we have the best chance for some of those showers to stick around. We'll talk a little bit more about those rain chances that we're going to be seeing for the next couple of days, plus that beautiful sunrise taking shape behind me on the other side of the break.
All right, thanks, Tawana. It's now 6:10 on your Friday morning. Just heard Coal Battle is out on the track this morning. That's Lonnie Briley's first Derby horse to enter into the big race. So excited to see what he has in store. Stick with us. Sunrise at the Downs continues after this.
Now, Wave News.
Yeah. Oh, you want to? We all want to talk here at this point, right? Okay. It's been a long week already.
Yeah. We have today and tomorrow Derby Day. Let's go to Tawana right now. We know there have been so many questions about that forecast.
Yeah, we have some wonderful weather to start off our Oaks Day. And behind me, if you can't see off into the distance, check out the beautiful sunrise that's beginning. So it's just one of those things that makes me absolutely love being on the backside of Churchill Downs. The gorgeous, just watching the horses run into the distance, that beautiful sunrise. It just puts you in a good mood, right? Puts you in a good mood. And the weather is going to try to put us in a good mood for the morning hours. We'll see how things turn out once we get into later on this afternoon, though. Still keeping an eye on a little bit of that patchy fog for those of you in southern Indiana, especially in that Bedford area. Overall, a lot of us just seeing a couple of clouds overhead, just like what we're seeing behind me, as those clearer skies can contribute to a little bit more of that patchy fog in some spots, especially if you got a little bit of that rain yesterday. The cold front that's off towards our west, that is going to move in once we head into this afternoon, and it will be the catalyst for rain chances for the second half of the day. The temperatures right now are in the upper 50s and the low 60s, so still cool this morning, and we have a lot of us, basically all of us, underneath some sort of severe risk. Now, for those of you basically along and north of the parkways, you do either have a slight risk of severe weather, that's that yellow on your screen, or a marginal risk for those of you in southern Indiana, that's the green. But south of the parkways is where we have the enhanced risk of severe weather, level 3 out of 5. And this is where we have the best potential for some strong to severe storms later on this afternoon and evening. The threat that we'll be looking at, damaging winds, heavy rain, hail, and I certainly cannot rule out a spin-up tornado or two as those storms move through. So let's break down what we're going to see as the day goes along. This morning, talking about a mix of sun and clouds. So you may need a light jacket, but really grab the sunglasses. Once we get into the afternoon, especially after about 3, 4 o'clock, we'll start to see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up. And once we head into the evening hours, especially once we get past that 6 o'clock time frame, this is when we have the best opportunity with some of those more widespread showers and storms trying to race in based on the current timing that we have. Keep in mind, some of these storms may speed up or slow down, which is why it's a good idea to have that wave weather app handy, because we'll be updating it throughout the day with any new information that we'll be getting. Getting further into the evening hours, any widespread stronger storm starts to move out of our region by the time we reach around 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Then we head into your Derby morning, and this is when we'll see more of that rain coming into play. Not as many thunderstorms trying to show up in in the forecast as of right now, but it's really the morning hours on our Derby day that we have the best opportunity for more of that widespread rain as it looks like right now. We're going to keep that around through the midday time frame. Once we head into the afternoon, the rain becomes a little bit more scattered. The clouds still overhead, going to limit our highs to the 60s across the area. So not going to be warming up too much for your Derby day. Keep that in mind for those outfits. Once we get further throughout your Derby evening, still some spotty showers around, but they'll be just that spotty. So at least the second half of our Derby is trending drier for right now, and let's hope it stays that way. But we do have a marginal risk of severe weather out across mainly our Kentucky counties, and we'll keep an eye on some strong wind gusts with those. Looking ahead to the next 10 days, we're going to keep those rain chances at least through Monday, then watching them increasing again for the end of next week. Ladies?
All right. Thank you so much, Tawana.
Well, we are talking about everything that happens at the track, and one thing you probably don't think about is how much water is used back here. So we're with Kathleen Spiker with Louisville Water. How much water? I'm sure you can't even put a figure on it.
No, but like I was just saying, you don't really think about it. The water comes out of the faucet, and you just don't think about how many ways you use water. But here at the track, I mean, think of the over 100,000 people coming, bigger crowd than they normally get. I mean,
right.
You're drinking water, you're flushing toilets, you're using it to cook, all the things. And then just the other things that you might not think about, the flowers and all the landscaping that's around Churchill Downs, they have their own greenhouse. So I got to go in there last year and obviously using lots of water. That was a really cool experience. I mean,
I did not know that.
Yes, they do a lot of planning. And then, of course, the down, Middletown Kroger, they're making the garlands of lilies and roses. Those 400 rosers have a vial of Pure Tap to keep those fresh. So tomorrow when you're, watching them place that garland on the winning horse, just know that there's some Pure Tap involved there, too.
And then the other interesting thing, of course, we know not only are there more than 150,000 people here, but there are so many horses, and think about all of the water that the people who care for those horses use.
So I got to learn that too last year. The horses drink 5 to 10 gallons of Pure Tap a day, and I was
5 to 10 gallons?
Yes, and I was told that the water is so good here that they don't have to convince the horses to drink it. Like they just love drinking it on the backside.
Okay, horses love it. I know I grew up here, so I'm biased, but I think we have the best water in America.
Yes.
It tastes so good. Even the horses agree.
Exactly. They weren't sure they were going to like it because it was too clear, too clean, but they love it. And then, of course, our crews are so busy months ahead getting ready for Churchill Downs, making sure the Pure Tap is flowing, high quality, same pressure, because, again, when you add tens of thousands of extra people, that's a lot of, a lot more influx. So we're just making sure that the water, they check the meters, the valves, all that stuff to be able to make sure that the neighborhood also has the same water.
And you all had a huge presence, too, with all the races that happened, fueling people, like the marathon and the mini.
Absolutely. And so 17 water stops for the mini and the marathon. Takes a lot of work planning to go into that. Probably about 14,000 gallons we served that day.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right. Well, Kathleen, thank you so much, and happy Derby to you.
Happy Derby to you. Stay hydrated.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Drink your water.
I drink a gallon of water a day.
Drink your water.
You're good.
Yeah. Not as much as a horse. 5 to 10 gallons? Wow. That's impressive. All right. Stay with us. You're watching Sunrise at the Downs. We have crews all over today. We're going to show you some other areas of the track as you look at that sun starting to come up on this Oaks Day.
Here's a look at the current Kentucky Lottery jackpots. The Kentucky Lottery, funding education for over 1 million Kentucky students. From Wave, your Kentucky Derby official station, this is Sunrise at the Downs. Sponsored by River City Bank.
Good morning and happy Oaks Day for everyone waking up with us here this morning. I know the kids out of school today.
Oh, yeah. They're excited.
That's a great tradition here in Louisville. No school on Oaks Day, right?
Right, and many of them might be heading there to the infield. You know what's so funny? We walked into our set and we found all of these tickets on the ground. Clearly, not a winner. Not a winner. So So just do that.
I rip them up.
I do too.
I consider it bad luck to hang on to them.
Yeah.
But I don't have good luck in the first place. So
maybe you will this year. Who knows?
Maybe.
Okay, we are hoping for some good luck when it comes to the weather. Let's go to Tawana right now to start us off with that.
And honestly, for most of the day, it doesn't look that bad. So fingers crossed. But what we're going to be looking at as we head into the second half of the afternoon, and then the evening hours will be a little bit more of those showers and thunderstorms coming our way then. As of right now, the radar is quiet. We have mainly clear skies across the region, a couple of clouds here and there, but overall we can deal with that. And a bit breezy this morning with some of those wind gusts getting close to that 20-mile-per-hour mark. Now, what we're also looking at is a little bit of some fog showing up in parts of southern Indiana as of right now, but overall most of us are A-okay. But now that we're getting really to the point where the sun is going to be coming up over the horizon, fog will become less and less of an issue. The temperatures are in the upper 50s and the low 60s across the area for this morning, so cool, comfortable. Getting into those upper 70s and low 80s for your highs for later on this afternoon. So going to be warming up with the help of that mix of sun and clouds for this morning. But as you get into the afternoon, this is when our rain chances really start to go up, especially after about that 3-4 o'clock time frame. We start to see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms coming our way at that point. Rain chances really going up once we get past that 6-7 o'clock this evening, some of which could be on the stronger side. And for your Derby day, more of that rain and cooler then. And then for Sunday, downright chilly with 50s for highs as you keep some of those showers in the forecast. Shannon, Olivia.
Thank you so much. So yesterday we had a chance to show you the Derby Trophy, and right now we have the Oaks Trophy here.
So I have Jessica Whitehead here with the Kentucky Derby Museum, and there she is in all her glory.
Isn't she wonderful?
She's huge.
Yes, she is
bigger than the Derby Trophy.
That's something that a lot of people comment on. It is bigger, but of course it's not 14 karat gold. So that does make a difference.
But you know what? And I actually, if I got to choose one to put in my house, I would choose this one.
This has absolutely wonderful details. I mean, these beautiful horse heads are magnificent. And of course, this was designed at the same time as the Derby Trophy. So it was introduced in 1924, designed by the same person who did the Derby Trophy.
Really? Now, why did they choose this embellishment? Do you know the history behind that?
So we don't know exactly why, but certainly there are acorns on the side, which is a reference to oak. So, you know, there are little connections thematically to the tree that the race is named after. But, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, wonderful detail.
Well, Shannon, you joked that if you could have one at your house, but you can't have one at the Kentucky Derby Museum, and people can see that, right?
That's right. So this is a perpetual trophy. So the owners they get to hold this in the winner's circle, but they get a replica. This actually lives at the Derby Museum all year round, and you can see it in our galleries on the first floor all year round. And so this is the one day that it goes out and travels around and goes out into the crowd, and we love to show it off because it's so pretty.
And then they will add a name at the bottom there.
That's right. So the front is all full. That has 1875 on, and then on the back we've got a little bit of space and a full column, and I'm not sure what happens after that, but but we've still got a little ways to go.
I mean, can you imagine the pressure of being the person who has to, I mean, what if you made a mistake or spelled it wrong, or you can't use whiteout.
These are professionals who are double checking and triple checking the spelling of those names, but definitely something that's a little stressful.
Yes, incredible.
And carrying it around too, how stressful is that for you? I mean, you have the white gloves on, you got to be so careful with that trophy.
That's right. Well, yeah, we're here to preserve Derby history, preserve Oaks history, and so we want this to be beautiful and shiny another 100 years from now. And so, yeah, we wear the white gloves, and we just make sure that she's always safe and in a place that makes her look beautiful.
Now, I understand, Jessica, that when this is given in the winner's circle, that the top is zip tied to the bottom so it doesn't fall off. Is that correct?
So that's the Derby Trophy. This one's actually pretty tight on there.
Okay.
So this one isn't as much of a worry. The Derby Trophy is so ornate, and it would be so difficult to fix something if something happens to that. So yeah, they go ahead and we tie fishing line on there, so it's not visible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Jessica, thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
She's just so beautiful. I think she's the star here, right?
I agree.
Oh, Josh Ninke has been running around the backside this morning, telling us about everything that's going on back there. Josh, what are you up to now?
Hey, Olivia. We've seen so many people here on the backside, and there are a lot of folks who are here for this week, but I've got someone here who's here all year long. This is Party Way. He runs the clothing closet over at the chapel. Can you tell me a bit about the program that you guys have here on the backside?
Well, we serve the backside workers mainly. Everything you can think of, what you're wearing right now, except for that pink coat, shirt, pants, shoes, all the toiletries that you need. And we do that Mondays and Thursdays from opening day till, or opening like April 1st through middle of December.
Yeah, you were telling me this is what, your 25th Derby?
25th Derby.
Yeah,
yes.
What's it like being able to work out here and help out all these folks that work here on the backside?
It's very gratifying. I say I'm working for them, but I'm not sure if that's how it is. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I got hooked about 6 months in.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love it. And you really miss when everybody goes south for the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like your family left.
Yeah.
When you come back, you hope everybody made it back. It's because you really get to know these people. It's a great place. How many
countries are represented here? You're telling me.
I think it's 7 or 8, maybe something like that. I'm not sure exactly. But I have great volunteers. They make it, like a lot of people tell you, they make that job easy.
Yeah.
Our chaplains, our staff are just amazing, and it's what they say, labor of love.
That's
it
right.
Definitely is a labor of love.
Well, Marty, we really appreciate you and the mission that you have here, because it's one big part of making Churchill continue out here, guys. So a lot happening behind the scenes here on the backside. Live here, Josh Ninke, Wave News. Tawana?
You're looking mighty dapper, by the way. I don't know if anyone's told you that yet, but you look amazing. For those of you heading out this morning, grab the sunglasses, because we are seeing quite a bit of sunshine beaming down on us. But also, especially if you're going to be out and about later on this afternoon into the evening, grab the rain gear, because as the afternoon wears on, we'll start to see more and more of those showers and thunderstorms chopping up across the area, and some of them could be strong to severe. I'll break down the potential threats, especially for those of you south of Louisville, after the break.
Thank you so much, Tawana. It is now 6:39, and this is something that a lot of the trainers will do. They will take their horses to the starting gate to give them some time in there, let them get ready. Sometimes a horse can be in there for a while if there's something going on, so they give them a little bit of practice there. Today's the day for the Oaks race, though, and tomorrow it is the Derby. You're watching Wave News Sunrise. Good morning. You hear some alarms going off. That usually means a loose horse. So we see the outriders. They're taking off. Mm-hmm. But Josh actually interviewed one of the outriders, and it's just so amazing. He said that one got one with the right hand, another horse with the left hand.
It's such an impressive grab.
Incredible.
They call themselves the lifeguards of the track, too, just making sure things are extra safe for those horses and the jockeys who are on them. But let's take a look at the Oaks field, because we now know it is a 13-horse field after 5G scratched yesterday morning. She finished first or second in her last 5 starts, so she would have been a strong contender up against the favorite Good Cheer, but there are no more eligible horses left who could enter the Oaks field. That means it is a 13-horse race, so here are the current odds. Again, Good Cheer breaking from the 11th gate is the overwhelming favorite at 6-5 odds. Probably won't win you much money, but maybe add that to your trifecta there. The filly is trained by Louisville native Brad Cox. Post time for the Oaks is scheduled for 5:51 today.
And we'll be bringing that to you right here on Wave. Now, you saw the horse named Bless the Broken. Bless the Broken is trained by Will Walden. Started his training, put up the sign for Will Walden training in 2022. He grew up at racetracks. His father was a very successful trainer, Elliot Walden, and now runs Windstar Farm, which is a stallion breeding operation. But Will's future was going down a very scary and different path.
She's in the zone, so we're not going to take her out of it.
This Friday, Will Walden will saddle Bless the Broken in the biggest race of his training career, the Kentucky Oaks. Her official name is Bless the Broken Road, based on the song by Rascal Flatts.
We shortened it to Bless the Broken, and Will and I were certainly both broken 10 years ago.
Will was in college when he started abusing drugs and alcohol.
I was kind of open to all parties. I was, from alcohol to fentanyl to cocaine use, everything. I didn't take any days off. I was a bottom-level junkie.
He came close to death at times. At 30, he knew he had to change.
Realized that I was about as alone as one could be in life.
He met Ryder Finney. His father was also in the racing business. They both grew up in Lexington but didn't know each other. That first meeting happened at a Mississippi rehab facility.
We actually watched the Oaks in 2015 from there, and now 10 years later, we're here, and it's pretty surreal.
Ryder is now the racing manager for one of Bless the Broken's owners, Cypress Creek Equine. He chose Will to train the filly.
It's magic, you know, where horses can bring you.
Will is one of the first graduates of the Stable Recovery Program in Lexington. It offers drug and alcohol treatment combined with horse therapy and training in the industry.
I've got guys that work for me that came through the program.
From where we both came, we're happy to be here for sure.
Do you feel like horses, in essence, then saved your life?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's the one passion I've always had is being around horses. I can't really explain it. I think Winston Churchill says it best, that the outside of a horse does something to the inside of a man.
That is so true. And here he is, going to be saddling an Oaks horse today. Just an incredible story, and a huge thanks to Will for sharing that with us, because he's very open about it. And I think, you know, that can have a big impact on people.
It can. Sharing that story and hopefully inspiring others out there who are struggling right now. Well, let's send things over to Marissa Burke, who has a special guest this morning. Marissa, who are you with?
I am with Dylan Dreyer with the Today Show. Thank you so much for joining us. So she comes down here every year to see the Derby and cover it. So what is your most memorable Derby?
Wow, I mean, I've been through a lot. It's almost, I think this is my 12th, possibly. My most memorable, going back 10 years ago when American Pharoah won, you know, because there was a lot of chatter around American Pharoah, and then when I went on to cover, you know, the Preakness and then the Belmont, and he won the Triple Crown, to be there, it was literally the most exciting sporting event where everyone in the stands are all rooting for this one horse, right? Like, we were all on the same page. So I would say getting to see American Pharoah here at the Kentucky Derby is a memory.
And do you remember what the weather was like that day?
I don't, but I assume rain of some kind. I feel like it's just usually raining at some point, but then there seems to be like this weird bubble over Churchill Downs. Like during race time, it's very rare it's like downpouring. You know, there's definitely wet weather around, but I don't know, there's like something protecting it most years from heavy rain right during Derby race.
But it feels like Derby and rain go hand in hand at this point.
Yeah, they do. I mean, like you did also, we packed our rain boots, right? Because at some point, and this year especially, it looks like it's going to be a rainy Saturday.
But it's still going to be an enjoyable Derby weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're like a Derby expert to me because of all the ones you've covered. So what would be your advice to someone who's watching right now, maybe coming out to the track for the first time, or maybe planning a trip in the future?
My biggest advice revolves around the weather, right? I think you have to wear comfortable shoes, and in case it rains, you want something you're not too upset to ruin, right? I brought heels, but I also brought, you know, my comfy flats, and my heels, I don't care if they get rained on. So, you know, think that through. Don't bring your best shoes. And you know what? If it rains, who cares? Just enjoy it. Everybody's having a good time, and we're all in it together.
Absolutely. And last question, what are your picks?
Well, I mean, it's funny there's a horse named Journalism. I think everybody in the media will be going with Journalism, but I kind of want to go with Publisher. It's one of American Pharoah's sons, so maybe it runs in the family. We'll see.
I was just about to say that. So, guys, we're going to keep chatting, and I'm going to send it back to you.
Thank you.
Hal, Dylan, I entirely agree about the comfortable shoes. I'm rocking the Converse today. Ain't trying to have sore feet at all. So, yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on those comfortable shoes with, of course, the Captain America socks to go along with it. We're keeping an eye on some beautiful weather right now, but we'll talk about the rain chances for later on today and into Derby Day as well in just 30 seconds. Good morning, everyone. I was just watching Olivia making sure that her hair was still beautiful and smooth because it was a bit breezy out there. So just keep that in mind as you're heading out and about, and also pin down those fascinators and those hats. We don't want those blowing away with the breeze that we have going on for today. What we're dealing with right now, of course, some clouds overhead in a few spots here and there, but some of you also dealing with a little bit of that patchy fog. A little bit more of that has been showing up in parts of Orange County towards portions of Lawrence County and even Jackson County. So we'll be keeping an eye on that for this morning. But now that that sun is officially basically over the horizon, not as much of a problem. Now, with the mainly clear skies that we're dealing with, that means sunshine beaming down. Grab the sunglasses this morning, but also have the rain gear ready to go. Because once we head into later on today, that cold front is off towards our west. Yes, that's going to move in, helping to trigger additional rounds of those showers and thunderstorms. Temperature-wise, like Jackie, you may not just depend on how you feel, because we are right now sitting in those upper 50s and the low 60s to start off the day. We have basically all of wave country underneath some sort of severe risk. A marginal risk, level 1 out of 5 for those of you in southern Indiana. Then along the Ohio and down towards the parkways, this is where we have the slight risk, level 2 out of 5. That does include the Louisville Metro. South of the parkways, and for those of you a little bit further to the east, including Franklin County, so Frankfort, you're underneath that enhanced risk of severe weather. This is where we have the greater chance for those strong, severe storms later on this afternoon. Let's break down a little bit more of what we're going to see for today. A mix of sun and clouds for the morning. That's going to push your temperatures into the upper 70s and the low 80s. Once we get closer to about 4 o'clock this afternoon, we'll start to see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms popping up. And once we get really closer to that 6 o'clock time frame, so right around the time that we're having the actual Oaks race, is there more of that widespread rain will try to move into our region. We'll keep an eye on that severe threat a little bit more between that 3 and 8 p.m. time frame, especially with that secondary wave of storms moving in and anything isolated that can pop out ahead of it. Once you get past about 8 p.m., the more widespread rain, the stronger storms move out of our region, but then we'll keep some of those scattered showers around, not just overnight, and into portions of your Derby Day. Keep in mind for Derby Day, more of that rain chance is front-loaded, so it's more of a morning issue, but it doesn't completely go away as we head into the afternoon with the clouds overhead. Just be fully prepared for some chillier temperatures coming into the forecast. So as we see on our futurecast, yes, we'll be watching those rounds of rain pushing through for the morning. Once we get into the afternoon, we're talking about more scattered showers with highs in the 60s, so we'll have to keep an eye on where those showers pop up. Hopefully they completely avoid Churchill Downs for the race tomorrow evening. And then once we get into your Derby night, we'll be drier initially before we see some more of those scattered showers trying to pop up for your Sunday. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather for those of you really across Kentucky for Saturday, with mainly gusty winds and some small hail as the main threats. Now looking ahead to the next 10 days, we do try to dry out into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, but then once we get into the end of next week, we're going to start to add back in those rain chances gradually, with highs mainly in the 70s. We have a lot more of sunrise at the Downs after the break. Oh, we are having way too much fun. Our friend Riley is just sitting right here with us. A beautiful horse here on one of D. Wayne Lucas's horses. But, it's a gorgeous start to the day, that is for sure. And, Dylan, you've been talking about the rain chances over the next couple of days. I loved your advice to everyone. Bring comfortable shoes. That's the biggest thing I think you can do.
Yes. What do you have on your feet right now,
You can find
Dylan?
fancy sneakers of some kind. I just have literally flats and
Yes.
athletic socks. It's not fancy from the ankles down, I'll tell you that.
Yes, you should see ours actually.
It's mainly
put the camera
not
down.
showing on TV. Who cares?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's mainly just rain boots and Converse.
I've worn my boots all week because you never know what you're going to track back home. Actually, we do know what you're going to track back home. It's not good.
Right. Yeah, something that is a little bit stinky. Well, Dylan, it was so fun having you join us this morning, and we hope you have the best day here at Churchill Downs. And we know that NBC is going to be bringing
such a pleasure.
whole lot of
Thank you,
coverage
guys.
here. So happy Oaks Day to you.
Bye-bye.
Get live streaming news, 24-hour weather, investigations, podcasts, and more, all for free with